The motel sat alone at the edge of a forgotten highway, its neon sign buzzing like an insect in the dark. Daniel had worked the night shift for 3 weeks and had already learned the rules. Most nights were quiet, and quiet was good. Quiet meant survival until sunrise. At 2:17 a.m., the bell on the counter rang. No one stood there. Daniel stepped out from behind the desk, scanning the empty lobby. The air felt colder near the entrance. The bell rang again, sharp and impatient. When he looked down, a room key lay on the counter. Room 9. He didn't remember placing it there. The security camera monitor flickered. In the grainy black and white feed, a figure stood in the hallway outside room 9. Tall, motionless, facing the door. Daniel told himself it was a glitch. Old wiring, bad signal. Still, his chest tightened as he picked up the desk phone and dialed the room. It rang once. A voice answered. "I've been waiting," it whispered. The line went dead. Heart pounding, Daniel checked the guest registry. Room 9 was supposed to be empty. He stared at the screen, and for a moment, a name appeared typed neatly into the system. Guest. Then it vanished. The hallway camera went dark. For the rest of the night, Daniel heard footsteps pacing above the lobby ceiling. Slow, measured, directly over his head. They stopped only when the first hint of dawn crept through the windows. When he checked the hallway at sunrise, room 9 stood open. Inside, the bed was perfectly made, except for the indentation on the pillow, as if someone had just risen. Daniel arrived the next night, determined to ignore whatever had happened. The day clerk mentioned nothing unusual. Room 9 was listed as vacant. At midnight, a woman entered the lobby dragging a small suitcase. Her smile was polite but strained. "I'd like to check in," she said, "just for one night." Daniel handed her the key to room 6. She thanked him and walked down the corridor, her footsteps fading into silence. Hours passed. At 3:03 a.m., the lobby phone rang. "I can't leave," the woman whispered. Daniel frowned. "Ma'am?" "The door won't open." He grabbed the master key and hurried to room 6. The hallway lights flickered as he approached. He knocked. No answer. He unlocked the door and stepped inside. The room was empty. The suitcase sat upright near the bed. The bathroom light hummed softly. Daniel called out, but his voice seemed swallowed by the air. He backed out, unsettled. The phone rang again in the lobby. "I'm still here," the woman said. He checked the security cameras. Every hallway feed showed her standing outside different rooms at once, her face turned toward the lens, smiling. Daniel ran back to room 6. The suitcase was gone. The bedspread lay smooth and untouched. At dawn, the registry no longer listed her name, but a faint perfume lingered in the hallway, and Daniel could swear he heard a suitcase rolling somewhere just out of sight. The third night greeted Daniel with a low humming sound he couldn't locate. It vibrated through the desk and into his bones. Room 9's key was missing from the rack. At 1:40 a.m., the humming intensified. The hallway camera focused on room 9's door, which bulged outward slightly, as if something inside were pressing against it. Daniel approached cautiously. The air felt thick. He placed his hand on the door. It pulsed. A slow, rhythmic expansion pushed against his palm. The walls around him seemed to inhale and exhale in sync. Panic surged through him, but he couldn't pull away. The sensation was hypnotic. A whisper seeped through the cracks. "Stay." The door handle twisted on its own. Daniel stumbled back as the door creaked open. Inside, the room stretched impossibly deep, the far wall fading into darkness. The bed rose and fell like a sleeping chest. He slammed the door shut and staggered back to the lobby. The humming ceased. For the rest of the night, the motel felt alive. Pipes throbbed, floors flexed underfoot. When dawn arrived, everything returned to normal, except Daniel could still feel the phantom rhythm beating in his fingertips. The fourth night, Daniel began watching the security monitors obsessively. He no longer trusted the silence. At 2:55 a.m., a figure appeared on the screen behind the front desk. Daniel spun around. No one was there. He looked back at the monitor. The figure stood inches from where he had just been sitting. Its face was blurred, smeared like wet paint. It leaned closer to the camera. The screen crackled. The figure stepped out of the monitor. Daniel stumbled back as it emerged into the lobby, flat and flickering like a broken image forced into reality. Its head tilted, mimicking his fear. "You see us now," it said in a chorus of overlapping voices. The lights died. Darkness swallowed the room. Daniel felt cold fingers brush his sleeve. He squeezed his eyes shut. When he opened them, the lobby lights were steady. The monitors showed empty hallways, but in every reflection, the polished counter, the glass door, he saw the blurred figure standing just behind him. On the fifth night, the front doors refused to open. Daniel pushed against them until his shoulders ached. The glass didn't budge. Outside, the parking lot stretched into a featureless void. The hallway doors began to open one by one. Guests he had never checked in stepped out, their faces indistinct. They walked past him without sound. Filling the lobby with a silent crowd, they surrounded the desk, watching. The air grew heavy. Daniel's breath came in shallow bursts. He realized they were waiting for something. For him. A path opened through the crowd, leading to room 9. The door stood ajar, darkness spilling out. Compelled by a force he didn't understand, Daniel walked toward it. The whispers returned, louder than ever. "Come home." He reached the threshold. The darkness inside felt warm and welcoming. For a moment, he wanted to step inside and disappear. Then the first ray of dawn pierced the windows. The crowd dissolved. The doors swung open. Daniel collapsed behind the desk, shaking. On the 6th night, Daniel considered quitting. But when he arrived for his final shift, the day clerk stared at him blankly. "You've always worked nights," she said. The registry listed his name under permanent staff. No start date. No end. As midnight struck, every room door opened. The motel exhaled a collective sigh. Daniel felt the pull of room 9 stronger than ever. He walked there willingly. Inside, the impossible darkness welcomed him. Memories not his own flooded his mind. Countless receptionists before him, each trapped in the same endless cycle. The motel fed on witnesses. He understood then. Leaving had never been an option. Only replacement. Behind him, he heard the lobby bell ring. A new employee stepped into the motel, eyes wide and uncertain. Daniel turned toward the door, his features blurring, his body flattening into the flickering shape he had seen in the camera. He took his place in the reflections, watching, waiting for the next shift to begin.